Well, good morning, everybody. Hello, Joaquin.
Hi, Saman.
I guess we're waiting another minute for 10:15 to start. Okay, very good. So it is 16:15 in Europe, 10:15 in North America, East Coast. So thanks everybody for joining this session with us with ShowerThinking at Next Normal. We have Joaquin Pais, our CEO at ShowerThinking, and myself, one of the advisors on that. We have a very interesting topic for you today to talk about. It's about flawless multi-channel campaign analytics in pharma. Flawless is a very interesting word when it comes to marketing and business development, as all can imagine. So you're going to hear today our take on this and how we're going to go about this. So Joaquin will be delivering the technical part of this, but before that, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the agenda of today. So after the intros, we're going to have a look at the classic and legacy commercial analytics, all the way up to the digital engagements that we have today. How these data is being modeled as a part of the journeys and how they are being imported into the journeys. And time permitting, hopefully we are going to have a Q&A. If not, we are more than happy to address your Q&As in a panel or offline afterwards. For some of you who are new to the ShowerThinking, ShowerThinking is a hybrid marketing and a technology company. We are not a pure hybrid. We are not a pure marketing company. We have been actually a technology company for the past 15 years or so. We're one of the providers of complete portfolio of multi-cloud services based on Salesforce platforms. On that, we've been awarded many awards in the past many years, actually, particularly amongst them are the top 10 solution providers in Europe by Salesforce. On that, we launch many campaigns on a monthly and daily basis. Typically, we're talking about a few hundreds per year, actually over 40 countries. This year we have launched about 80 complex hybrid multi-channel campaigns. And most importantly is being always up to date with the latest and greatest technology. Our team collectively holds more than 70 certificates from Salesforce and Veeva platforms around that. So one of the things that we're very proud of is that, as being on the front line of technology, we have been awarded the first partner, actually, that we have implemented a global worldwide solution for CTP Genie. Actually, as it has been introduced, you can refer to that content actually in other presentations that we have on this. And one last thing, we are going to obviously making references to a lot of third-party software logos and trademarks in our presentation. So those remain the respective properties of the respective owners, actually. On that, with that in mind, I'm going to pass it to Joaquin. Joaquin, if you please take it away, and
Sure.
I'm going to stop sharing so you can share your screen.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it now?
Yep.
Okay, good. So thanks again, Seman. Well, first, it's an honor to be here at the Next Pharma Summit. The focus of this presentation will be to share with the community our experience at ShowerThinking over the years in multi-channel analytics and how different companies, how different pharma companies are approaching this topic. In recent years, the pharmaceutical industry has been involved in a paradigm shift. Companies have focused all their efforts on unifying all customer data in CRM. This data has been the foundation of the sales and marketing campaigns with HCPs, healthcare professional, for many years. And campaigns has been, I think that we all agree, has been limited by CRM functionalities. Functionalities such as customized emails, calls, CLM, e-detailing, all these functionalities, particularly we are speaking here about the Sales Cloud, but also very specific to Veeva, that we are all very used to. As you all know, this has evolved in recent years, and especially since the pandemic. It has accelerated. We are talking about the opening of pharma to the digital world. The digital world brings new challenges, including the ability to work with data that is not in the CRM. We are speaking here about the digital interaction data. Therefore, new platforms and channels has been added and made the customer knowledge shift out of the CRM. We need to acknowledge that the unique source of truth is origin. Through the next slide, I think I can convince you over this point. Surely, many of you have been in a process or are in a process of integrating this digital data into the CRM. At ShowerThinking, we have been working on this type of projects for several years, and the experience have allowed us to observe different integration strategies that I'm going to share with you. The most common is try to keep the CRM as the unique source of truth, integrating all digital interactions within the CRM. For example, if we talk about Veeva as CRM, incorporating visits, clicks, opens, logins, and registrations in the multi-channel activity object. At ShowerThinking, we call this type of integration fitting a square peg in a round hole. They are, and the reason is because they are obviously difficult integration and are a mess to maintain over the time. You have experience on this kind of project, I hope that you also probably agree. Of course, without a proper digital architecture and CRM, you can get a flawless multi-channel campaign analytics. And very interesting, on the other hand, business teams are increasingly elevating the complexity of campaigns and journeys, not only by introducing new channels and platforms within the digital architecture, as we have seen before, but also by incorporating more and more omnichannel touchpoints. Today, it's common for pharmas to design campaigns that combine rep interactions, as in the past, call, face-to-face visits, etc., with digital events such as webinar, personal communication, such as approved emails, or automated communications. However, in our experience, we find that these same pharma companies analyze these same complex campaigns or journeys with simple metrics. The same metrics that we have been using for the last 20 years in email marketing or web analytics. Let's talk about a more detailed example. Imagine a journey designed with the objective of improving the prescription of a drug. This journey incorporates a webinar, real interactions with the field force, email communications, and web-based e-learning training for the healthcare professionals. How will the business team be able to analyze the adoption ladder based on metrics such as visits, opens, downloads, registration, and logins? I hope that you agree that this is obviously a challenge that many marketing departments have been having during the last years. With this example, it's obvious that simple metrics are not enough to analyze the performance of HCP in this journey. However, our experience is that most pharma companies are struggling at this point. And now let's take a step further. Let's not only comment on the issues or challenges that we have, and advance how we see that different companies, some of our customers, are tackling with this problem. At ShowerThinking, we have been helping health and pharma companies to solve these challenges for years. We want to share with you, with the community, our solution, especially here at the Next Pharma Summit. We have developed on Salesforce Marketing Cloud a campaign data model that is able to respond to the analytical demands of business teams. The model incorporates 3 new metrics. The stages represent in an orderly fashion all the touch points of a campaign. So they represent order through a timeline. Goals are the final stages when an HCP completes the campaign. These final stages can be categorized as having met the objective of the campaign or not. And very important is scoring. Scoring is a numerical rating that relates to the stages. At the end of the campaign, its user is assigned a score based on these numbers for the different stages they have gone through. Let's focus for a second on the scoring part. This is a very common question from most of our customers. Since companies need to better understand how the customers behave, not only during a specific journey, but through the different journeys that they launch during a cycle plan. You can understand better how each HCP interacts with a journey and also be able to compare different journeys in terms of business metrics, not only email or web marketing metrics. As mentioned before, these 3 new metrics are based on a campaign data model built on Salesforce Marketing Cloud. But the campaign data model is one thing, and the business logic that tracks the evolution of a customer through a journey is quite another. This business logic is nothing more than a process of transforming simple metrics into campaign data. That is to say, to establish a temporal organization of all the interactions that happens along the journey. As we mentioned before, the campaign data model is just one of the pillars, but we need to consider an end-to-end campaign implementation. This process is divided into 4 key points. The design campaign definition, having advanced campaign analytics, requires an appropriate mindset. By updating the way campaigns are defined, a new way of understanding the HCP performance can be achieved. The data architecture changes to digital architecture needs to be done, most notably the inclusion of Salesforce Marketing Cloud as a new data source, as an aggregator for all this digital data that needs to complete into the journey. Salesforce Marketing Cloud as an orchestrator. It's important to point out that Salesforce Marketing Cloud is much more than a mass email tool, as many pharma companies are using it. It actually has powerful orchestration capabilities that efficiently connect digital channels with CRM data, and BI and data visualization, and obviously, last but not least, harmonizing data and creating new dashboard about align with the business needs. Okay, so let's take a closer look at what we mean by campaign design and definition. The first step is to transform the strategic journey from marketing into a flow diagram that incorporates all the technical necessities that are needed in order to implement an omnichannel journey in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. This journey is really the same, but it has much more descriptive complexity. An important thing to point out is that not only we are gathering all the different interactions that happen through the journey, but we also give a time structure to these stages. The orange boxes represent all the stages that the journey is composed of. There is also a breakdown of all these stages ordered sequentially on the left table. It's a data table that is being created into Salesforce Marketing Cloud and brings this new metadata to the journeys. This complex structure is what allows to extract better insights from the journeys. In the new slide, we will go in more detail about this kind of insights that we are getting. It's not just about the data model or stages, but also the data architecture. Under our proposed solution, Salesforce Marketing Cloud keeps on translating event activity at the right to the campaign data to the left. It gathers and translates information from platforms as Veeva, Salesforce Marketing Cloud, webinar platforms, or website. To achieve this, it is vital to have a 100% connected digital architecture that allows Salesforce Marketing Cloud to perform data queries and interactions on any digital platform. Okay, so looking at Salesforce Marketing Cloud, I wanted to highlight the point we made before, and that is that its powerful orchestration tools enable the setup of complex campaign data structures. This slide is an example of how journeys are implemented in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. A key element in this project is utilizing the enormous potential of Salesforce Marketing Cloud to organize and structure the data. We are no longer just using Salesforce Marketing Cloud to send the actual emails, but it is Salesforce Marketing Cloud where all the business logic lies. It transforms simple metrics into business metrics like stages, the scoring, and the goals. As you can see in the example, every time an interaction occurs through the Journey Builder, we perform an update of the campaign data model tables. And finally, of course, this is usually the most requested, we wanted to share with you how we work with Journey Analytics dashboards, a real, close to real example. This example is built on Datorama, although the case of BI tools is a secondary matter. We have similar success stories using other platforms such as Tableau, Click, Power BI, and many others. The first thing that stands out in the dashboard is the graph that details the stages of the journey. It's a very direct and simple way we can analyze how the HCPs have evolved through the campaign. How many of you have dreamed of something similar? In a widget, we are able to group in a linear and organized way all the multi-channel interaction like email, the face-to-face visit, the approved email, the webinar, and so on. We can also highlight other new business KPIs provided by our campaign data model, such as scoring or goals. Although here we only see the average of both KPIs, this dashboard also presents scoring and goals at the individual level. When I say individual level, I mean by each HCP, we can check which are the stages and which are the scoring and goals that he has achieved through the journey. Finally, the rest of the dashboard is organized according to the channels, providing the metrics of each channel in an organized way. In the screen, for example, you can see the summary of the calls just there at the bottom on the orange line. the summary of the calls made per week. And if we continue scrolling down through the dashboard, we will find analysis of other channels such as emails and webinar. But we will present this information to you in another session where we do a business intelligence for pharma webinar. Today, we only bring you a small example of the potential of the campaign data model. And just to finalize my session, I want to summarize the main outcomes. Email metrics or web metrics are not appropriate for measuring pharma omnichannel journeys. We see again and again the reason why many pharma companies are struggling to better understand the interactions with their customers. And this is one, could be also another topics, but this is one of the most important from our view. You can achieve a better understanding of HCP performance in omnichannel campaigns based on new business relevant KPI, such as the aforementioned stages, goals, interactions, and scoring. And it's possible to create a scalable omnichannel analytics dashboard based on daily automations and take all the juice out of Salesforce Marketing Cloud, not as only as an email interaction tool, but as an orchestration, digital orchestration or hub, digital hub platform, as we say. And now I'm giving back the control to Saman. I hope that you have enjoyed. And let's go through the Q&A session if we have time. I'm not sure if we have time, Saman.
Well, thank you so much, Joaquin. That was very interesting. We might have a couple of minutes for some quick discussions and questions that we have. So now, a topic that typically comes up in related to practically orchestrating these multi-channel campaigns is that there are always companies that are at the early stages of implementing these additional kind of omni-channel campaigns. And one big question is, where should they put their focus on? Should they put the focus on their data collection? Should they put the focus on the quality of the journeys and the sophistication of the journeys? Or should they put more focus on practically the KPI assessment and scoring? Now, each of them are extremely important, but we are being asked often to put our hats with this kind of assessment goal that, okay, which one should get more priority when a new campaign is being started or a new strategy is being started?
Okay,
that might be an interesting thing to talk about a little bit.
Sure. Well, I can share my thoughts or my experience on this topic, and I can share basically how we approach, this question, because it comes in many companies wanting to launch this new hybrid or omni-channel campaigns. Our view is that we approach in a model for a pilot. So a pilot will be a model that gets all these analytics parts all together, but we simplify for a number of countries or a number of journeys in order not to be too complex and involve so many different teams. So our view on this point will be to make this kind of journeys as complex as you need, because this is a business need, and provide the complete analytics. Although in this initial phase for the pilot could not be scalable, could be made like an ad hoc solution, a custom solution for this journey. But keep in mind that the end solution will need to be scalable, also for cost efficiency for these campaigns. It's not possible to create journey by journey when you are in a model and in a business as usual model, because probably many different campaigns will come and there will be a request and peaks, as it always happens, So our view to this complex question, Saman, will be let's focus on a pilot. Let's get the analytics right. Probably the scalability is not there yet, but having in mind that it will need to be developed in the future, improve the ROI, the performance, and also the performance in the business for this solution. Sorry, you're on mute, Saman.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying thank you so much, Joaquin, for that insight. There's a set of questions. There's another one that I'd like to kind of read to you quickly. It's about interfacing with other practically platforms. That's a question. The question is that if there are other means of data collection and collecting data and customer insights with other tools, how easy it is to engage them in the Salesforce campaign.
Yeah, one of the reasons, also for, as mentioned before, for companies struggling, to operate and get these analytics is to get data, because many different sources of data are coming, new different shiny marketing platforms that the teams want to evolve. Now it's webinar, and probably next year will be something different. So we use Salesforce Marketing Cloud and as an integrate and as a digital hub. And the reason is that it can get raw data from data lakes through this. I'm going to be a little bit technical, but using CSV files or Excel files, basically, but also has the possibility to use APIs, which is the standard interaction between platforms in the industry. Whatever, if there are any other solutions that integrates more easily, or I'm really aware, to be correct myself, I'm aware that there are many solutions for integrating this digital information into the data lakes. My point here is that from the data lake, we usually have a standard procedure in order to get all these different digital analytics into Salesforce Marketing Cloud. And then it's Salesforce Marketing Cloud, which is creating this model. And the reason, because creating this model into Veeva or any CRM is really very complex and does not have usually the appropriate tools, or is not cost efficient to create this kind of organization and platform into the CRM.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. We might have a couple more minutes for one more quick question for you. So the question is about the scoring. It has come up that is the scoring something that is fixed throughout a campaign or journey, or it is dynamically modified by Salesforce to enhance the best results? I guess there's more question about the smarts of Salesforce in terms of a scoring. Is it something that is set by users, set or forget or modified, or it is something that Salesforce has control over it and then gives you insight on how to modify that?
Oh yeah, very interesting question. Probably here are two views. One is instant engagement scoring, which is a standard procedure from Salesforce, where create a scoring for the customer. And you cannot modify this model. It applies to every Salesforce Marketing Cloud customer. What we are speaking here is about this custom model, where we create an scoring based on each journey. We usually give the same scoring for each of the journeys, because at the end, you need to compare different journeys, which is this solution is getting a lot of, is really being very powerful when you are launching different journeys through a cycle with your customer. You want to understand which journeys have created more scoring and which has not been so successful. So in this case, standardizing the scoring model is also a very important part, of the business. So in summary, to respond to the question, instant engagement scoring is a artificial intelligence tool inside Salesforce Marketing Cloud, available for every customer, but you cannot modify the model of tracking and putting scores, setting up the score with a customer. We are speaking here about a customized solution, for each pharma company.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much, Joaquin, for a great presentation. Thanks lots to our audience for attending and listening to this. Feel free to contact us, and also thanks to Next Normal for having us.
Thank you very much.
We're just passing it back to the administration on the Next Normal. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you,
Talk to you and see you very soon. Thank you.